This is Coogan Cassius for IFLTV. You old sly old dog, you.
And you know the mad thing is, you've got an interview with me. I won't tell you any questions you've got to ask me. I won't make you send it through to me before you approve it. And I won't say anything else.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
because I'm not a snitch. But I'm just saying.
Like, can I ask you a cynical question? After Conor Benn left you and Dana White broke your heart and you went through all that time, did you think...
Dana White didn't break my heart.
No, but the whole thing broke your heart, didn't it?
No, Conor Benn broke my heart.
Did you turn around and go, right, watch what I fucking do?
Yes, but not with this in mind. Do you know what I'm saying? What it did was it made me... It wasn't just the Conor Benn stuff. It was just the stuff that he said before. It was just that I know we have to bounce back here. And this stuff, like, I'm not going to come here and say, and I've just done a massive turnout here today, by the way. It's like bringing worlds together. So all of a sudden now I've got all the MMA world and the boxing world now, right? People say, you just did this to, spite Dana White, blah, blah, blah. No, I did this because I got the opportunity to sign one of the biggest stars in combat sports. But the timing meant that the volume and the power of that announcement would be absolutely catastrophic for people, right? So basically what happened was, now, in 24 hours, Tom Aspinall's profile is by far bigger than it's ever been in his entire career. And that is coming off being chastised by people who have spun a narrative of him which is not true, right? The agency stuff just makes perfect sense. We've been talking about it for years. Me and AJ are starting to move into football. And I look at it and I think, I know sport inside out. I know how to deal with brands. I know how to drive profile. I know how to deal with broadcasters. I know how to spin a narrative. I know how to deal with PR and media. I know how to drive sponsorship sales. I know what's in the pot for every major event. So really, we're incredibly well placed in that space. So that's a natural progression. The timing of this, it was just actually, I was at Wood Warrington. I was talking to Mike Rideout from The Zone. Rideout. I call him Rideout because Paul Rideout. Do you remember Paul Rideout?
He's both Everton.
Yeah. Right?
How the fuck do you know that anyway?
Because the name's spelled the same. Anyway, so he said, he was talking about Tom and he was talking about, have you met his dad? He's very unhappy at the moment, blah, blah, blah. And I just had a call with Andy Aspinall. And from there, this was like a week ago. This is when it all started. So the timing, and I said to Tom the other day, because he went to me, what am I, a pawn in this you and Dana? I went...
It's a fair question.
I went a little bit, but actually I want to represent you. And I think I'll do a fucking incredible job. So, and then I said to him, if you want to wait a couple of weeks for it to die down, but I'm telling you, my advice is, now's the time, because it's going to be huge. And he went, I agree. And we met on Wednesday, we got it signed, and now we're here.
Let me ask you, Piers Morgan did an interview with Dana White, but I think this was obviously, it was done prior to this announcement. When Piers Morgan asked Dana White about Tom Aspinall, his words were, he hasn't spoken to him for a little while, he does believe he'll fight again, but that's my heavyweight. At that point, which was 24 hours previous, did Dana White know what you were doing?
No, he had no idea what I was doing.
Are you telling me that Dana White wouldn't have known until you put out the announcement last night?
Correct. But that's what you do. That's the power.
Is that why you wouldn't tell me yesterday?
Yeah. But that's the how big my mouth is. I've got everyone phoning me going, what is it? What is it? But that's the power of the announcement. And actually, we brought it forward because you started sniffing around. Colm actually guessed it, right? Yeah. He's messaged me going, oh my God, you've signed Aspinall, haven't you? I'm like, oh my God. So I phoned the media team. I went, get it ready, drop it now. Because I thought Colm's got the biggest mouth ever. Do you know what I mean? So it's just going to spin out there and go. So it's the power of the announcement.
Were you going to save it till today? You weren't?
But last night about 8 p.m, but we brought it forward to like 5. It's the power of the announcement. And listen, at the end of the day, all that stuff, there's Rideout. It's the power of the announcement. And all this stuff between me and Dana, we're both, them especially, huge organisations. I'm not an idiot, right? And we will do everything professionally, but we'll do everything in the best interests of Tom Aspinall. And it's not like we're going to come in and be a massive pain in the arse to them. We're just going to work to drive this guy's profile. It's probably good for the UFC. Do you know what I mean? Because actually, already what's happened, I've done a little bit of a job for them. Because their fighter, his profile is bigger than it's ever been. And I did that in fucking 16 hours. And by the way, if I want to, I'll make it double what it is now. And then after I've done that, I'll treble it. And I know how to build stuff. These guys need focus and attention. And he was a broken man when I spoke to him on the phone. Already, in 5 or 6 days, the change in his demeanour is unbelievable. He felt like he was damaged goods. Because he felt like a narrative was span on him that was total bullshit, right? A proper, down-to-earth, working-class hero. Basically, his integrity was questioned because of a narrative that was spun on him. And let me tell you something now. He is one fucking tough son of a bitch. And I'm new to MMA. I'm a casual MMA fan. I'm not going to sit here, start reeling off all the names, this and that. But what I know is he will fight anybody, and he's been fighting since he was 8 years old. And he's a destroyer, right? So now we're going to get his mojo firing to go and beat every fucker out there.
Do you have to deal with Dana White now on certain situations that come up in Tom's career?
I think if you listen to those guys, it sounds like the dynamic is that Dana doesn't deal with any of the fighters. That's Hunter and the team. You know, Dana said, I haven't spoken to Tom since that fight. When was that? October? I mean, it's like 6 months ago. So, but as Tom said in an interview there, he goes, look, it's not his job really to speak to the fighters. He doesn't speak to the fighters.
I will ask him, how is that relationship with Tom and Dana, to your understanding?
I mean, that's one for Tom. I think Tom's disappointed that, again, a narrative, if you like, has been spun that is just not true. Like, the guy's had 3 operations. If you watch that back in slow-mo, it's absolutely horrendous. Like, I know at the time it's like, you know, there's a fight going. I was like, oh, what's happened here? Watch it back. Literally had his eyes gouged out, right? And like I said, he's a tough man. And there's no quitting him. So he feels like you know, I think that he was really down in the dumps. And already in those few days, I've seen him walking around here, chest up. And I said to him, you're the fucking man. Come on. Fucking UFC heavyweight champ. And it's like, yeah, you need that. You've got, like, it's going to improve everything around you.
Just to address this, obviously the first thing that a lot of people would have thought, seeing you and Aspinall together, is that Aspinall's coming to boxing. That's not the case. It may end up being one day, but just talk to me about that. It's not the case.
This isn't about busting out of a UFC contract. Like, we know where we stand. I have the contracts. Our team will read them, and we will make sure we deal with them. But we have an obligation, and that's not a problem at all. I would like that, you know, you want to have sensible conversations to make sure that what we're doing with him and the value of Tom Aspinall is respected. Will he go into boxing one day? Maybe. But that's not the focus at the moment.
I'm just trying to think of a bigger pussy in the world than you. I'm not. Who is actually a bigger pussy than you? Who would you say? Got any names?
No, I don't want to call anyone that. I think it's very offensive.
It was weird to hear Piers Morgan keep repeating the word pussy as well on his show.
I haven't seen it.
Haven't you watched the interview?
I've seen clips of it. I mean, listen, in 7 days, Dana White has called me a pussy and called me out for a fight. I must be doing something right.
He said he does like you, though.
Do you know what? Look,
he actually said he does like you, but he does believe that you were acting that way.
But you got to remember, he was criticising my business and my product. Like him or not like it, I'm not going to not say anything. That would be a pussy, right? And I'm sorry, but I'm not a pussy. Maybe I am sometimes in certain things, but we'll come on to that. But so you can't expect to criticise what I spend my whole life doing and me not saying anything. He's like, oh, Eddie's acting mad. I'm like, no, I was just responding to what you said. I like Dana, and this isn't a loving. How many interviews have I done with you where I say, I respect him so much, the business, Nick Khan, all these guys are extremely bright. But we're in a dogfight. But it's not, I don't think, I get the feeling that because of how smart everyone is and because of how big everybody is in their respective fields, I think it will play out okay. But I also understand that at the moment everyone's losing their shit, loving it. And it's a massive story. I mean, it's everywhere. It's across every media outlet. The fact that Dana White's calling me out for a fight, like, look, for my profile, I mean, I'll go and get chin just, for the profile. But across America and stuff like that, I'm looking at my following. It's going, like, all the media outlets are onto me. Eddie, can we speak to you? So the whole thing is great. And you got Turki Al-Sheikh will be sitting there just going, this is fucking brilliant.
We haven't got that long, so just a couple more things before I let you go. One comment he did make, he said, watch in a year's time and see where your American business is. Did you hear that comment?
Oh,
yeah?
did
Yeah, he did say that.
I think Bob Arum said that. So did Leonard Ellaby. I think Luda Bella said that as well. But listen, we will see where it is. But as I've showed over the last 24 hours, this is just the beginning. I've got news coming. If this all plays out, that he's going to blow. You think this was big? You wait. If I pull this off, you lot, all of you lot, will be fucking numb, and you won't even be able to say anything. We'll see.
What did you make of AJ's post about
I was going to
Conor
repost it, but I was like, it's almost too brutal to repost, so I didn't actually repost it.
You're asking about it, obviously.
No, I appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's never going to fight. I can't believe what Conor Benn. But he knows. Listen, there ain't anyone with a cleaner heart in the game than AJ. Unrivaled. And, it is what it is, but I'm there.
Francis Ngannou is reportedly a free agent. That'd be perfect for your next signing under the Matchroom Talent Agency.
I think we'll probably reach out to Francis. I mean, I've had, I wouldn't say a dozen, but I've had over half a dozen quite big name UFC fighters contact me in the last 12 hours. And I'm not going to sign all of them, but they're fascinated by this because they feel like they're not getting what they deserve. And that will be the job of the agency to do that.
What other sports are you doing?
Anything. We're not even limited to sports. I want to work with extraordinary talents and make sure we give them the opportunities they deserve for their commitment that they're
Actors?
playing. Anybody. You?
Yeah.
Matchroom Talent Agency signed Kugan Cassius and Oscar Bevis. Just behind you.
Well, listen, fair play to you because you was a broken man in Nottingham, honestly.
I was never a broken man.
You was a broken man.
Listen,
but
when you're a broken man, do you know what you have to do? You have to put yourself back together again and fucking go to work. And that's what we did. And last night, we rocked the world. And it's only the beginning. Because you know me. I don't fucking lay down and play, mate.
Eddie Hearn, much appreciate your time. Good luck with your new venture. I'd like to have pulled him in, but he's not.
That's all right. You'll get him. You'll get him shortly. It's my new trainer anyway.
Do you know I interviewed him 14 years ago?
Did you? You should play the clip.
I will. Yeah, I did in Peter Fury's gym. Yeah.
All right, mate.
Eddie, well done. Good to see you smiling again, mate.
Yeah, baby.
Do you think he'd actually knock Dana White out, though? Seriously, that's a serious question.
He's genuinely called the fight on. Listen, you always say to me, would you fight Frank Warren? Would you fight Ben Shalom? Would you? And
Frank Warren, he's 74.
In the past, like 10 years or whatever. And I've always said yes, or Simon Jordan, or whatever, because I know I'd win those fights. Yeah. But I watched Dana sparring. By the way, of course I'd do it. Because how could you say no? Then you'd be a pussy, wouldn't you? By the way, Netflix will pay an absolute fortune, or live on DAZN, the global home of boxing. So I'll probably make a fortune to do it. And if I got chinned, I'll get chinned. But I'll probably spark him out, to be fair.
How long was the deal for with you and Aspinall?
Sorry?
How long was the deal for?
2-year deal, initially.
All right, Ed. Good luck. You've got about 1,000,001 interviews to do. Thank you.